Hi and welcome to On the Limit, the show that's all revved up and ready to go for round 3 of the 2002 Autobacks Japan GT Championship. There's a totally new, long-awaited, front-running contender for Nissan at the Sugo third round of the Autobacks Japan GT Championship. There's also a surprise modification to Honda's well-established front-runner. And for Toyota, no apparent change, and none apparently needed either, as its Supra continues to run at the front, or at least close to it. It's a sunny but cool spring day here at Sugo Sportsland as another big crowd enjoys the sights of the Japan GT Championship. New cars, new air scoops, but hey, the race queens are still the main attraction for many, their appearances bringing the fans running. So round 3 of the Autobacks Japan GT Championship getting underway here. Keiichi Tsuchiya in that Honda NSX, the red and white car, leads this field away. 43 cars strung out behind him and 81 laps to come of this windy Sugo circuit. The unrelated Takeshi Tsuchiya is second place, Ralph Furman in third. Back in the bunch here, things are pretty busy. This is on board with Daisuke Ito in the Mugen Honda. He just got contact here though. That's the VMAC getting turned around by the Mazda RX-7. What a way to start. The team did a fantastic job yesterday in qualifying, taking 4th place on the grid despite 50 kilos of weight on board that car. Now Shinsuke Shibahara is way back. He's dead last. Oh, and he's dead lucky because he's going to avoid this crash featuring Nobuteru Taniguchi. The same man who knocked him into a spin is involved with the BMW of Charles Kwan, and one of the Porsches badly damaged off to the right there as well. So the caution flags fly as the officials go to tend to Taniguchi. Hideshi Matsuda's GT3R looking pretty bashed up, and so too Charles Kwan's BMW. As you'd expect this early in the race, the order not much changed from the start grid. There's Ara's car in third place, looking further back to Takeuchi's car. Oh, the BMW really badly bashed up in the back, and that's retirement for the Malaysian-based team. So to the restart, Tsuchiya's got to do the job again off the start. No problem whatsoever. He's got a break on the second Castrol Tom's Toyota in second place, and Ralph Furman in third. Everyone maybe just being a little bit more cautious this time, not wanting to see another repeat of those 2 incidents already in 1 lap. Tsuchiya then gets a little bit of airspace between his car and the Toyota behind him. That's the other Tsuchiya car with Ralph Furman quite close behind him. GT500 pole winner Tetsuya Yamano leading that class just ahead of the other Nissan Silvia. Then 2 of the little Toyota MRSs leading that long line. Up front though, things closing up for second and for 5th. This is the big fight. Akira Ida holding on there in the Esso Toyota Supra ahead of Hiroki Kato in the Raybrigg NSX. Oh, a replay here of some action earlier. Koji Matsuda, this is spinning his Toyota out of 7th place in GT300. I think he was trying to hold off Guts Jonai in the other car. So Tsuchiya opening up a lead now at the front of this race. Things closing up behind him though, all the way back to about 7th or 8th place. So the 46-year-old really doing the job in that Autobacks Honda. This is further back, fight for 10th place. Daisuke Ito coming back at the Zen car that took him in the opening, and he's turned him around, sent him off the edge of the track. Whoa, and he almost backs right into one of the Nissans. I think Michael Krum coming through there at a very high speed. So Takuya Kurosawa survives, but boy, that was scary. Back up front with the leaders. Couple of good fights going on behind him, one in about 5th place, and see the flashing lights. That's Aida telling the flag marshal, yes, he knows someone's trying to pass him. He doesn't want him to. Hiroki Kato's been hassling him. He pulls out alongside and he goes by. So Kato gets the passing move done for about 7th place, that is. Look how close it is from 2nd place back to 7th. There's Kato, there's Aida, and right behind him Takeuchi, one of the Nissans, then the Raybrigg Honda, the 2nd Nissans here. The Unicea Jex Nissan leading GT300 does have a bit of a buffer there in the lead gap. 2nd place, Takayuki Aoki is a little bit behind him. You can see the gap now. So Nissan 1st, 2nd, Toyota 3rd. Now it's Jeremy Dufour on the move, wanting that 5th place away from Sebastian Philippe in the Takata NSX, and he's got it, diving through off the front straight into turn 1. The Denso Saad Toyota moves up 1 place. This is round 1 winner Ralph Furman in the Mobile 1 Honda, now very, very close behind Takeshi Tsuchiya's Tom's Toyota. Seiji Ara back in 4th place in that blue FK Massimo Supra, with Dufour and Philippe next. But look at this, Furman really gathering himself, trying to make a charge here. And pulls down the inside, just throwing a bit of a feint there at Takeshi Tsuchiya. Not really going to make that one stick. The race leader's in trouble, going slowly onto the front straight, already passed by a couple of cars. So Tsuchiya will be in the lead of the race as his namesake goes into pit lane. The Autobacks Honda looks like he's got front tyre troubles, probably just a puncture. This is very early in the race, just 17 laps, and he's still got troubles. As he comes out of pit lane, you see the front left of the car riding up. So he's either got a busted suspension or there is another tyre flat on that car. This is a bit of a disaster for them. Fantastic performance in qualifying yesterday, as we've got a new leader to the race, and Ralph Furman trying to take it away from him. So Takeshi Tsuchiya has got through to the lead with his namesake in the pit lane. There he is, struggling around, has got to go a full lap. Definitely major problems with that car's suspension. If not just a puncture, could be just hiking the front of it up. So Tsuchiya makes his way around as the other Tsuchiya fights off this man. Ralph Furman, now he's held up a little bit on that Wed Sport MRS. So that's going to hold him back. And the gap will have opened up from 1st to 2nd. Takeshi Tsuchiya, there he is, just disappearing around the corner. And Furman's challenge dropped off for a moment. Now he comes back in. Keiji Tsuchiya will be hugely frustrated at this turn of events. Now the team goes to work to change the rear tyres, checking that there's nothing wrong there. Looks like that's all it was, just a puncture on that right rear. Michael Krum getting to grips with Nissan's new challenger for the GT500 class. This is their new Skyline, and he's running 8th. Not bad for its debut. Dufour, though, the man on the move, really wanting to push on through past Furman. Comes onto the front straight. There's 1, 2, 3. Tsuchiya in the lead. Furman 2nd. Dufour 3rd, but trying to make plans for that as he comes down the inside of Furman. And he's got it away. He's got 2nd place. So slots right in behind Tsuchiya. Dufour, a real charger in the opening 2 rounds of this series. Doing it once more. Oh, Philippe's off the edge of the track. That could be costly. He's back in 5th place now. And Dufour's the man on the move. He's got his eye on the lead, trying to come past Tsuchiya down the front straight. Tries one side, now down the outside. This is not going to work this time, but boy, is he ever keen to be moving on. Travelling on board with Daisuke Ito, coming down the inside of the Ida's car to take 8th place away from him, and he does it. Or does he? No, there comes the Esso Toyota around the outside of him, so he's got the place back. This is bad luck for Ralph Furman, out of 3rd place and stopped. Team boss Satoru Nakajima drumming his fingers there, hoping. But no, Furman's out of the car, so the car's retired. And that brings out the safety car, and that in turn means a rush to the pits, because we're close enough to halfway in this race for this to be the driver change. A big rush of activity down in pit lane. The FK Massimo car in, Seiji Ara out of that one, and here's Gardner about to get into the lead car. Takeshi Tsuchiya hops out, and Wayne Gardner, the former motorcycle GP champion, climbs in. Also in the Denso Saad Toyota is there. Arido about to take that one over from Jeremy Dufour, but Gardner gets underway first, so a good pit stop. They're happy. Tom's team celebrate, high fives all round. And now Arido gets underway too. Thumbs up for his teammates from Takeshi Tsuchiya. This is Ito in to hand his Honda over to Dominic Schwager. Problems here though for the Morio Nitta Shinichi Takagi MRS. And problems too for the Denso Saad team. Arido's back and it looks like it's just for some fuel. So I don't know whether they had a refueling problem, but that is going to be costly. Come the restart and Gardner gets away cleanly and there's no pressure at all on him because the second place Raybrick Honda's about 6 cars back. Hidetoshi Mitsusada now behind the wheel of that one. So Wayne Gardner, a bit of a veteran in the JGTC, stretching his lead out ever so gently at the moment, just taking things easy out front. Mitsusada's equally comfy in second. Look at the gap he has on Richard Lyons. Oh, but I spoke too soon. Mitsusada's gone off and he's lost that second place. Third place as well. Shinichi Yamaji's gone past. Now comes Wakasaka. Juichi Wakasaka almost drives into the side of him, trying to dive on past. Has to settle in behind, but not for long. Now he gets the passing move done. So suddenly everything's turned around for Mitsusada. He's gone back 3 places. And it could be 4 places because now Dominic Schwager dives down the inside of him. He fights him off for the moment at least. So Mitsusada in trouble. Oh, and so is this man. Satoru Goto's MRS stops in the middle of the track. That brings out the safety car again. The yellow flags fly. And that means Wayne Gardner is going to have to do this getaway job one more time. So the MRS is towed clear. Gardner deals with it, no problem whatsoever. Makes his getaway very cleanly, helped by the fact that Richard Lyons in the Takata car is right back here. So quite a long way back at the restart. So no chance of any challenge yet anyway. And in fact, he's got his hands full because he has Shinichi Yamaji in that FK Massimo car quite close behind him. So he'll be watching his mirrors. So Gardner's got quite a good lead already. There's Lyons, Yamaji right behind him. Then it's back to Wakasaka, tucked in behind the MRSs. It's nose to tail back here, that's for sure. Arido fairly well back in that pack. Just waiting for the leader of GT300. There it is, the Subaru with Katsuo Kobayashi at the wheel. The Unicea Jex car that led before the pit stops, there he is now. So he's quite a way back, 3rd place. Now this is turning into the race of the race. The fight for GT300 sees Kobayashi in the lead in that little wild-looking Subaru, and just tucked in behind the Porsche behind him is the VMAC with Shogo Mitsuyama at the wheel, and he's really keen to be catching up and putting the pressure on Kobayashi. Race leader Wayne Gardner was taken out of a good placing in the last round in a bizarre near head-on crash near the end of the race. Maybe this time he's heading for that win. There's Lyons in 2nd place, still fighting off Yamaji. And there's Wakasaka in the SO Supra, still quite a way back. Things are very, very close here though in the GT300s. Oh, contact between the Chrysler Viper and the Honda sends Katsuo Takahashi spinning. Now the fight is well and truly on for 2nd place. Richard Lyons holds it, for the moment anyway. Shinichi Yamaji wants it in that FK Massimo Supra right behind him. So threading their way through the GT300 traffic, going past that BMW now. Now travelling on board with Richard Lyons as he checks the rear vision mirrors. On the left first, now on the right. Where's the next attack coming from? There it is, down the right-hand side as they go down to turn 1. Can Yamaji make it stick? Looks like he has. Oh no, he's gone out wide. Lyons tries to come on through, whams into the side of him. Now he's off into the gravel trap. So I think he's come off worse actually out of that. Yamaji's carried on and Lyons has dropped back a few places. So that's, oh look at this, this is a big crash. The yellow flag's waved, there's been a big impact in the tyre wall. It's the Mosler. Tetsuji Tamanaka looks like he's gone straight ahead off the straight. There's a replay of it, or the trail of it. Big impact into the tyre wall. That's a very high-speed accident, and look how the tyres do their job. At least that. The car sits up on top, and you can see Tamanaka is moving inside the car. He is okay as they call the ambulance to him. Now Lyons, after his trouble off track, He's in pit lane for a few repairs, so that has been very costly. Now though, time for the restart. Gardner has to do this one more time. Doesn't look like a problem. Got a big break here. Where's second place? Lyons is gone. Yamaji's probably out of that place as well. Yes, Wakasaka comes through in second, then Yamaji. Oh, and in the background, one of the Porsches takes a spinner. It's the Taisan car. Yutaka Yamagishi at the wheel of that, and that would be very scary. He's going to try to get going. Oh, right in front of another Porsche. Just makes it off the edge of the track. That was pretty hair-raising. And he rejoins just in front of the GT300 leaders, and the VMAC is right there in that fight too now. Oh, and so is the number 3 car of Masataka Yanagita. That's the little red and white Nissan Sylvie. He's gone through past the VMAC. Let's see what Mitsuyama and the VMAC can do. Well, he tries to pull wide, almost straight into Richard Lyons' NSX. In fact, they probably scraped guards as he tries to recover. Up front, Gardner leads from Wakasaka, then Yamaji. Not much between these guys at all. What a disaster. Wayne Gardner gets a penalty. That'll mean we get a new GT500 leader, and now we've got a new GT300 leader as well. Yanagita goes past the Subaru on the front straight. Now Kobayashi comes back at him around the outside. Oh, there's a Honda in the way. He can't go through that way, so he's balked. In fact, the VMAC almost gets him. This fight, three-way fight, raging right down to the last stages of the race. The VMAC trying inside. He locks it up and slams straight into the number 24 Porsche. Wow, that is a terrible way for things to end up. The Porsche is definitely going to be out of this race. The front left completely taken out of it. The VMAC resumes. Gardner comes in for a stop-go penalty, which we understand is for running a red light when he left the pits after the driver change. Up front, Wakasaka is the new leader of the race, of course. That SO Ultra Flow Supra getting away now from Yamaji in the second place in the FK Massimo car. Just opening up a little bit of a gap, and another gap back to third place with Mitsusada in the Raybrigg Honda. Here's the leader in GT300, that's Yanagita. The gap now back to Kobayashi, opened up a little bit. So this race looks to have been settled, and there's the VMAC patched up. And I have to say, not going very quickly either, so he's well back down the order now. Juichi Wakasaka in the lead of this race, and with less than a lap to go. Looks like he's got the job done. Don't want to speak too soon in a race that's been so full of incidents, so many crashes and so many changes up front. But now Wakasaka coming onto the front straight to take this one out. The first win in almost a year for the SO Ultra Flow Toyota team. Coming close last race and doing the job this time. I think he's happy. Slams the brakes on in the car just to celebrate as he crosses the finish line. And a few waves of triumph there. Now it's Masataka Yanagita's turn. His second win in GT300. And I think he's fairly happy as well. The arm pumping out the window. He and Tetsuya Yamano have run a great race in this car. Big welcome here for Wakasaka from Ida and the rest of the SO Ultra Flow team. I think these boys are pretty happy with themselves. Big congratulations for Wakasaka there. Yes, I've done it, he says. It was very much a survival race, and as it turned out, we didn't have any accidents, didn't hit anything, and didn't waste the tyres. We knew we had to do that. For me, it's like 2 years, maybe 3 years since I won a race. I don't even remember. I've really missed the podium so much. The Hosseimi Motorsport team's obviously overjoyed with such a great fighting drive to victory by Yamano and Yanagita. Yet another penalty, this one imposed on the last lap, cost Yamaji and Ara their hard-fought second place, promoting a surprise Schwager and Ito onto the podium.
Yeah, fourth was good, but now it seems to be we're third.
How has that happened? What's happened?
I don't know. I think something about the penalty, but I don't know why.
Would-be winner Gardner's confused and angry.
We had the race won. I come up to the light, and I see the light, and I thought I have to stop, and I looked across, and one of the marshals is going, waving me through like this. And I went, oh, maybe the light's broken, so I'll go. So I did what the marshal wanted, and I went straight ahead. And then I get a penalty at the end of the race for it. Not good.
Confirming the results then, a win for Wakasaka and Ida by 9.9 seconds from Hiroki Kato and Hidetoshi Mitsusada. Schwager and Ito end up a surprise third, almost 17 seconds behind the winners. Eric Komas and Masami Kageyama's older Nissan gets up for fourth. The race of the season so far in GT300 sees Yamano and Yanagita take the victory in their Unisea Jex Nissan by 10 seconds from Kobayashi and Tanagiwa's Cusco Subaru. Osamu and Takamasa Nakagawa are third in their Leijun Porsche. In the GT500 drivers title fight, today's win carries Wakasaka and Ida from fourth equal to a narrow lead over former co-leaders Schwager and Ito and Takeuchi and Tashikawa. And in GT300, the win hikes Yamano and Yanagita from 11th to 1st. Subaru drivers Kobayashi and Tanigawa also come from outside the top 10 for second place.